Folks, we all like pasta. Well, I can't speak for everybody out there, especially our friends that suffer from celiacs. And that was a bad start to the... Let me try again. Folks, a good majority of us enjoy pasta. Whether it be traditional spaghetti and red sauce or lasagna or something more untraditional like chicken Alfredo, most people enjoy pasta dishes. And our good old Hot Topic prospector friend King Cobra is no exception. Yes, folks, today we are taking a look at another one of King Cobra's cooking abominations, simply titled spaghetti and meatballs. Definitely the most basic named food out of everything he's cooked that we've covered so far. I wouldn't be too optimistic just yet, so let's just get straight into it. Before we begin, as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 5,000 subs as our next sub goal, and folks, I'm gonna make a deal with you. When we reach 5,000 subs, I will make Aunt Myrna's party cheese salad. So do with that information what you will, and thanks for your support, I guess. Not really looking forward to that one.
So welcome to another Cooking with Cobra segment. I'm your host, KingCobraJFS. We're gonna make some spaghetti and meatballs.
I swear, with every video we watch, his hat goes more and more limp. There's gotta be some metaphor in regards to Joshua here, but I don't want to put in the time or effort to put one together because I don't want to think about anything correlating to that with him.
I wanna make meatballs. We got some low moisture mozzarella and then cut them into smaller chunks. I'm gonna fill the bowl up with them. I don't know how many times I'll say balls in this video. Shut up, people. You butthead.
We're not even half a minute in yet. We've already got to the rambling impressions while he cuts mozzarella blocks with a very dull knife that he has to force down with his hand. How dull does your knife have to be to where you can't even cut through cheese without putting extra pressure on it? Which is weird because I don't know a lot about Cobra's personal life, but just by his aesthetic, he seems kind of like a sword guy. Most sword guys I know tend to keep their knives pretty sharp too. I guess, though I can't generalize that every sword guy does that, and I'm sure that Cobra is not like every other sword guy.
Look at that. Yeah, buddy.
I don't know if he was just drinking whatever alcohol that was. I don't know if he was just drinking it or if he was incorporating it into the mozzarella. That's the only ingredient he has out so far, so I don't know what else it would have been in.
So we're gonna have to crack a couple eggs. Now we got 5 eggs in our bowl. Time to whisk it.
So Cobes is making his own meatballs. I mean, at least he's trying to put in effort.
Let's add a couple drops of the olive oil. You piece of shit, man.
That had to be a sound. There is no way that wasn't a sound effect. That was like the perfect oil bottle sound.
We got some Black Label thick cut bacon from Hormel. We're gonna use that strip per meatball.
And of course he's using bacon because every recipe we've talked to up until this point I'm pretty sure had bacon in it because lol bacon internet funny. Joshua definitely strikes me as the kind of person that has a graphic tee that reads something along the lines of my favorite food is bacon. It's the only thing I eat. Don't take my bacon or I'll murder you. Some random edgy lol internet humor that he probably bought off the Hot Topic website because he's too embarrassed to actually go into one of the last remaining stores in his nearby mall.
Alright, we got our meatball station set up. So we're gonna grab a chunk of beef. We're gonna grab a chunk of cheese. After our meatball. And we're gonna wrap it. There we go. Yeah, buddy.
He's making stuffed meatballs, which can be done. I'm just not sure he'll do it right. Okay, so he wrapped the cheese in the ground beef and then wrapped the ground beef in the bacon. What were the eggs for? Because I thought that he was like going to mix in the egg to the ground beef to have it as a sort of binding agent, even though he's not incorporating breadcrumbs. At least he would be putting something in there to potentially help it hold together better if he has a beef that's more likely to fall apart. But he didn't do that.
King Cobra cooking up some goodies tonight. There are meatballs. Not for 21, not unless you're 21 up. Rolling the meatballs. An egg. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Sweet. Lucifer, yes.
Well, I guess it's time for one of my signature moves. Two things. One, those meatballs are way too fucking big to all cook through at the same rate. Not saying that they couldn't be cooked through all the way, but that they're not all going to cook through together because there's such a drastic size difference that it's going to be hard to know what is done and what isn't. And secondly, as we all can plainly see, he's just rolling the meatballs in the egg because apparently at some point he took cooking lessons from Kay. At least Kay has the decency to incorporate some of the egg into her minced meat before dredging the rest of it in the egg. I don't see how this is going to benefit these meatballs at all, except for giving it a very thin, fine skin layer of egg around the outside. Because nothing sounds more appetizing than an undercooked meatball wrapped in bacon covered by a shell-thin layer of egg.
I'll give an extra coating of egg just in case. That looks dank. I'm gonna sprinkle some garlic powder and roast Payne County meat seasoning on it.
I may be giving him too much credit here, but you would think Cobra would at least know to season the meat when mixing it. I would hope he knows, at least, because he does know some cooking techniques at the very least. You know how dangerous it is as a sensory experience to your taste buds to just sprinkle garlic powder over the top of meat and not have it actually incorporated? You're going to bite into that and be physically knocked 30 feet across the room because all you're tasting is garlic.
Let's slam it in the oven.
I don't know. Why is it doing? I don't know. Don't ask me why his pot is steaming from the bottom. 'Cause I don't know. So as we saw, Cobes is using angel hair pasta instead of regular spaghetti pasta. I do enjoy, a traditional spaghetti and meatballs. Well, not traditional because, meatballs aren't usually served on spaghetti in Italy and blah. Anyway, I enjoy spaghetti and meatballs with angel hair rather than spaghetti from time to time. That's not the problem here. The problem is, and you all taught me this a year ago maybe, that putting olive oil in your pasta water doesn't actually do anything. There were a lot of people for a long time, including me, that touted the idea that it helped your pasta not stick together, but that's just not true. Frankly, there's no reason to add olive oil or, any kind of oil agent to your boiling water when making pasta. He didn't add salt though, which always add salt. That I know is still true. Not because it keeps your pasta from sticking together, obviously. It gives it more flavor. So salt your pasta water, and if you don't, I will personally ship the ocean to your front door so you have some salt water.
So, here we go. The butter will melt in there.
I thought that was just some of the cut up cheese cube that he was holding in his hand. I didn't think it was butter that he would be adding to his pasta water. I want to know his reasoning for this. Does he think it'll also help keep it from sticking like people thought with oil? Or does he think it's going to infuse the pasta with butter flavor? It might? I don't know. I've never boiled butter in my pasta water before, so I don't know. All I know is that looking at it, it looks like somebody dumped Dawn dish soap on top of his pasta.
Those noodles are ready to go. Nice. Chewy.
If there's one thing that always gets me about these videos, it is the close-ups as he ingests the food and stares directly into your soul through the camera lens.
And now we're gonna throw some of that Apothic Dark on top.
I knew he was gonna add the wine at some point. I just didn't think it would be here. That's like a 2 shots of vodka video amount of wine that he just poured in there. Probably more. I want to tread very carefully with what I'm about to say here. Not because it's controversial or anything, but I'm not very familiar with cooking with alcohol. But I think that if he took a separate pot and put in his sauce and added the wine there, mixed it around a bit and let it sit on heat to simmer, it might be okay. I feel like I say that with a lot of the separate components of Cobra's dishes, that they might taste okay independently, but once you add them all together, there's no way in hell that I would even attempt to try it.
Gonna mix that butter up. Those are a skitty. We're gonna add some more cheese to it. We'll throw some cheese in there. Throw some Doritos in there.
Why would there not be Doritos? I should have known. I don't think there's been a recipe so far that hasn't had Doritos at some point in it. Just like the bacon. So I should have damn well known. Bully on me for not thinking of that possibility. You know what? Screw it. I'll go to Joshua's level. If he wants to incorporate the Doritos, he should have crushed them up and incorporated them into the meatballs as a breadcrumb substitute. That would have worked. I don't know how it would have tasted, but at the very least he would have got his Doritos kick and still probably made meatballs that aren't going to fall apart immediately upon contact of a fork.
Look at this shit. Bacon wrapped meatballs.
I think what irritates me the most about that is him setting the oven hot tray straight out of the oven. You can still hear the grease boiling on the tray, just straight up on top of the surface of the countertop. I don't know what his countertops are made of, but let's hope to God that it's not something flammable or warpable. I wish I could say that Kay's meatballs somehow looked better than what Cobra just made, but I'd be lying. That meat is so browned. I want to say that it would be cooked through all the way, but knowing Cobra, he found some way to make it raw still. Some of them might be so thick the heat didn't even have time to get to the cheese. He didn't say how long he put it in the oven for or at what temperature, so we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Let's try a bite. Oh my God.
Does he have to come every time he tastes his food? That's a serious question here, because I don't want to watch it anymore if he does.
Dude, this labor of love was worth it.
That's a big statement there to call any portion of this a labor of love. A labor of malice and chaos, maybe, but a labor of love? Maybe from Satan? I know Cobra's camera isn't the best, and I'm assuming that it's just pink on the bacon, but I'm not confident about the fact that there's just some pretty blatant pink spots on the remaining meatballs. I mean, even if it is pink on the bacon, it might be okay. It might just be rendered a little bit more chewy, or it could still be completely uncooked. It might be, you know, the part that was on the underside that came in contact with the pan and he didn't have it on a high enough heat to cook it through, or I just, even though he doesn't show us the interior of the meatballs, I don't have any hope in the idea they're all cooked through all the way. And the video ends with him saying that he's gonna put the rest of it in the fridge, so he might realize that it's not cooked through all the way, but he just can't be bothered to cook it more right now, so he'll just reheat it in the microwave later on when he decides to consume the rest of it, because nothing tastes better than ground beef that is cooked off in the microwave. As you may recall, I've mentioned before that a lot of these Cobra videos that we cover are actually highlight videos from longer videos that Cobra releases, and these are put together by the channel Bite Size Cobra Vids, which huge shout out to them for condensing 2.5 hour long videos into these 5 to 10 minute long videos. I'll put a link to this original video and the link to the channel in the description below, but just out of curiosity, I didn't want to leave you all on a lackluster note without seeing if he at least showed the inside of one of the meatballs. So I went to the full video and I went forward to the part where he actually shows himself eating the meatballs on camera. And unfortunately, he doesn't show the meatballs to the camera at any point in taking a bite of it. In fact, he inhales that whole ass first meatball in like a bite and a half. I know it's kind of a lackluster way to go out. We don't have any resolution on whether or not it's actually cooked, but I think we can all agree on the fact that just based on past performance, we can make a safe assumption that no, it is not. And that, folks, is where we're going to end the video for today. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a comment down below if you have any other Cobra cooking videos or any other weird YouTube channels, TV shows, movies, anything you think is interesting or weird that you want me to take a look at. As always, huge shout out to all my patrons for all your support. If you want to sign up now, you can click the link down in the description below. And like I said, once we reach 5,000 subs, yes, folks, I will promise to make Aunt Myrna's party cheese salad. And I know you all want to see that, so it's up to you to make it happen. As always, thanks y'all for supporting and sticking around. And I hope to see y'all in the next one. See ya.